Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another GTA 6 video. My name is Saintsfan, and today we're gonna have this little discussion while we're in the mini drought between trailer 2 and trailer 3. And that discussion is about the realism factor. Should GTA 6 have more realism or should it have less realism? Let's go ahead and hop into this discussion. So first and foremost, I will say that in single player, at least, there should be toggles maybe for some of this. If Rockstar goes crazy with the realism, like gas and fuel for cars, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who don't want that in a GTA game. So if there's a way to like turn that off or tone it down, I think that just gives the best of both worlds, because if you want it, then you have it. But if you don't, there's like an option to turn it off. So I think that's what they should do. Will they do that? We'll have to wait and see, but more than likely they probably won't, unfortunately. I also want to say that realism doesn't have to be an annoyance, and more realism doesn't necessarily mean less fun. There's of course a balance for Rockstar to hit, and if they go too far in one direction, like too much realism, then yeah, then that's maybe less fun. But if they do hit the perfect balance, then you can have it all. You can have fun with some realistic aspects. And I will say my point, I want to have more realism in this game simply because we've already had 12 years of the arcadey-esque GTA. That was GTA 5. So having something a bit new, a bit different this go around would just be a lot nicer, again, at least to me. But I do understand that maybe there's a lot of people out there who would prefer the more arcadey style, the less realistic side. But I want to pose a question before we get any deeper. If you could pick one of the game's worlds to have a game in for like 10 years, GTA 5 and RDR2, I would say most people might pick the RDR2 world. Like, disregard if you're a fan of that genre or, you know, old time stuff. The worlds themselves, GTA 5's is very barren, very basic. There's not a whole lot of like realistic stuff happening in it. But RDR2's world, of course, and it's because it's a little bit newer, it just does have all of that stuff. The world feels like a realistic living world. And that really is what I hope for GTA 6. I also don't imagine they're going to be really going backwards with a lot of the features they've added in RDR2. So we probably will end up getting a lot of that immersive stuff from RDR2 in GTA 6. But I want to ask the question, what realistic features should be in a GTA 6 game? And then we'll also do the other side of that, what realistic features shouldn't. This is my list. I want to start with vehicle stealing because we've actually seen a bit of this in the leaks from a couple of years ago. No, these are old leaks. Things could have changed, but what we know so far is that vehicle stealing will be a lot harder in GTA 6. There are different little gadgets you can have. One is called an immobilizer bypass, which would be for stealing luxury cars, like more expensive cars, because presumably they'll be harder to steal. There's also a Slim Jim to unlock maybe the cheaper cars, the older cars. There's even events relating to carjacking that was in those leaks. Again, things could have changed, but you know, you have a full in progress and even a fail. So maybe there's a way that you can actually just fail, like straight up fail a car robbery and you don't get the car. So that's what Rockstar was working on back in 2022. So they were already setting up for more realistic gameplay in GTA 6. And for me, I kind of like this. Now, hopefully it's not too crazy. Hopefully it's relatively easy to like get done. It doesn't take a super long time, because that would be annoying. I totally agree. But having different things for different cars, or needing different like gadgets for different cars to steal them, I kind of like that, because it makes you have to prep and be prepared for whatever scenarios you would encounter. The next thing that I want to see that's a realistic feature from RDR2 specifically is the limited weapon wheel. And I know this is a very, very controversial opinion. I don't want to see it to the extent that it was in RDR2. It shouldn't be that limited in a GTA game. You know, you should still be able to carry, I would say, you know, 5 to 8 guns, something in that range, like, you know, a handful of pistols, maybe a handful of assault rifles. I don't think you should be able to carry a minigun or an RPG without having a duffel bag or some bigger way to carry those bigger items. I just think, again, that goes to the preparedness. I like that aspect. I would want to think about, you know, what guns am I going to need for what I plan to do? We did see in one of the screenshots or trailers or newswire posts, Lucy and Jason, you know, going to the back of their car. So it's probably going to be RDR2S where your full weapon inventory will be in the back of your car and you'll have to go to the trunk to access all of it. But again, with this one, I do hope they find a balance because I don't want, especially in online, I don't want everyone to just have every single weapon because it's just annoying, especially when people like just comparing it to GTA 5 online. They just bust out an RPG the second they get in a fight and kill themselves to get a better spawn. Like it's very stupid. I don't want to see that happen, especially in online for GTA 6, but I would prefer a somewhat limited weapon loadout. The next thing for realistic features I want is gore and dismemberment. Now, will we get this in a GTA game finally? I don't know. Probably not, unfortunately. Just because Rockstar probably want to have, you know, the most amount of people buying this game. And for whatever reason, gore and dismemberment is a thing that people get freaked out about. I kind of understand it. Like, I'm not a maniac or anything, but it does add to games. I mean, in RDR2, shooting a guy in the leg with a shotgun and then seeing his leg explode. I don't know. That's cool to me. Without sounding like a maniac or a psycho. I just think gore and dismemberment adds. So I would really like to see something like that in GTA finally. One, again, that we've somewhat confirmed already is being able to take care of your character. We've already seen that Jason can lose weight and then gain muscle. So that's, of course, something that's realistic. I like that. But also eating and maybe even sleeping. It shouldn't be annoying. Again, there should be a balance. But I would like that change from GTA 5, where you actually have to go into a burger shot or something to get some food to eat every now and then. And then you can have the same thing from RDR2, where if you eat too much, you become fat. If you eat not enough, you become skinny, and maybe it slightly affects performance and stats in some way as well. And even we saw in the trailer, Jason having sunburn. I don't know if that's something we could control, or if that's just like something that happens occasionally in the game, but just small stuff like that. Something that doesn't necessarily affect gameplay, but that is realistic and that does just add some uniqueness every now and then. It is the stuff I like. And the stuff I would want, the realistic stuff I would want in a GTA 6 game. Of course, from RDR2, the ability to greet and antagonize and rob every NPC. I mean, that's a realistic thing. And I'm sure we're going to get some variation of that in GTA 6. So I'm not going to really talk too much about that one. Another controversial one is gas and fuel. Again, I'm going to say this a lot probably. There has to be a balance. It shouldn't even be close to being annoying. If you don't want to have fuel, or if you don't want to have to deal with going to a gas station, you almost should never have to. Like, that's how long the fuel in cars should last. But I do want it there on the off chance that you do try and steal a car and it's low on fuel. It just adds a very unique situation, a very unique scenario that you just wouldn't get. And if we're playing this game for 10 plus years like we did with GTA 5, I do want unique things to happen. I don't want the same thing to happen every single time I go and steal a car. That just gets boring to me. So having fuel in a limited capacity, I guess, would be something I would want in this game. I think everyone would want this next one, realistic cops and stars. We don't want GTA 5 again, where you're in the middle of nowhere, you shoot your gun, no one's near you, when all of a sudden you get a star on you. There has to be either a witness or a camera or something that spots you for you to get stars. I think everyone's on board with that one. Just give us realistic cops so we can do things, you know, in a realistic way, at least out in like the wilderness areas of the map. One that probably wouldn't happen, but I would love to see because it would be awesome. Seasons in this game. Like, that's probably too crazy. I get that. But imagine going through the seasons in GTA 6 and it just having the map change up a bit. I think that would be really cool, but probably not very realistic. And then the final one that I could think of, and this one is specifically for online, but I've been saying this for years. I do not want player dots on the minimap. Make it realistic, so where you only see player dots if they're shooting or if they're being loud around the area. I don't want to have to constantly be looking at my minimap to see where people are. I don't want that at all. So those are some realistic features I would want. I'm sure there's a lot more you could add to this list, but those are some of the bigger ones. Now, some realistic features I don't want, and I think a lot of people maybe could come on board with this, stuff from RDR2 like skinning animations. We don't really know how hunting is going to work in GTA 6, but we have seen a lot of animals. So I don't want skinning animations. I hate those in RDR2. It's so annoying because it's the same animation over and over again. It gets very repetitive. I think every time I play RDR2 now, I find a mod that just disables those because I don't want to see them. It's just flat out annoying. So I don't want anything like that or any equivalent thing like that in GTA 6, whether it's skinning animations or any other very annoying animation that would just get repetitive. And the same thing goes with the slow walking in the camp in RDR2. I don't want that at any point in GTA 6 because that was one of the most annoying things in the game. You're going at a snail's pace in your camp. You can't even drive your horse through the camp. It's just flat out annoying. I don't want any of that realism in this game. Also, kind of on the RDR2 topic, I don't want limited options to finish a mission. Give us freedom to finish it however we want. I mean, I think that's a realistic thing to want. This is one of the flaws with Rockstar, in my opinion. They don't really love freedom, like player freedom, where the second you step off the path or like you do something the game doesn't want you to do, the mission just fails. I do not want that in GTA 6. Another one from RDR2, like the cleaning weapons, some of the very, very minor things. I don't want any of that in a GTA game because that fits an RDR2 slower paced game, but GTA is just too fast paced. Plus, of course, it's modern. So, you know, we probably don't even really need to clean weapons that much. So yeah, don't do that. Maybe if they want to have an option where you can clean a weapon to get a buff, like to get a slight buff of something, go for that. But there should be no negative consequences if you don't clean your weapons. Another one, the changing of your clothes to the temperature. Again, I think that fits with RDR2. I like that in RDR2. Don't get me wrong. It's a cool feature because you have to, again, plan. But I think GTA is just too fast paced to have to worry about something like that. Plus, it's Florida. Like, we're not really getting that cold or anything. So I don't think that's really going to be that big of an issue, you know, changing your clothes to adapt to the environment. Another one, and maybe this goes against with some of the stuff I've said before, but I really don't want to see limited ammo. I want to see limited guns because I think that could be cool, but limited ammo might be too far. Now, maybe there's a balance between having unlimited ammo, basically, like you have in GTA Online now, and the RDR2 limited. But you really shouldn't have to worry about ammo in a GTA game, in my opinion. Another one, I don't want cars not being able to flip back over. I want the GTA 5 system, even though that's very arcadey, that's not realistic at all. If you flip your car, let me flip it back. Like, it's simple. Everyone loves it. I think we can just stick with that. You know, maybe make it a little bit better, sure, but stick with that. And then the final one, I don't want to see a return to the GTA 4 style driving physics. I know that's like another big debate. Who likes the driving more, GTA 4 fans or GTA 5 fans? I'm guessing, again, there could be a balance between GTA 4 and GTA 5, but I would prefer the driving to be more GTA 5 sided than the GTA 4 boat physics where you slightly turn going a little bit fast and then your car flips over. I don't want that. We don't need super realism with the driving. There could be a lot more depth added to the GTA 5 style, like the arcadey style, but I would prefer, and I think most people would probably prefer the GTA 5 style over the GTA 4 style. So that's some realistic stuff I would not want in a GTA game. And again, the list could probably go on longer if I thought more about it, but I think these are some good things. You know, maybe a lot of people don't agree, but my main point, like I mentioned at the beginning, is that I want uniqueness in this game. And if you have an immersive, realistic world, I think most of the times you get unique things happening. So I do hope Rockstar, in the terms of more or less realism, I hope they do go a little bit more realistic than past GTA games. Simply because if this game is going to last 10 plus years, I would much rather have a game in a world that is more immersive and more realistic than a game like GTA 5 that is, for all intents and purposes, just a game. It's a game world. Nothing really happens in it. Nothing really interesting is going on. But of course, that is just my opinion. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. That is going to do it for today's GTA 6 video. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more GTA 6 content. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.